That-
We are waiting for participants to log in, and then I'm going to start the process to Facebook Live. Good morning and happy Women's History Month. Hello, everyone, and welcome to our Empowering Women and Small Business Owners, a Queens Chamber of Commerce webinar with our partner, the Small Business Administration SBA. My name is Jacqueline Donado. I am the Strategic Program Manager of the Queens Chamber of Commerce. We are a membership organization established 110 years ago, and we work for a better business community in Queens. As we are preparing to welcoming a spring and also recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic, Queens Chamber is very pleased to sponsor webinars and in-person events providing resources and information to small business owners. In March, we are hosting 3 job fairs and business resources day. One virtual job fair is on March 8th, and 2 in-person job fairs, one on March 21st at St. James Episcopal Church and in Elmhurst, and a second one on March 29th at the Woodhaven Manor in Woodhaven. Also, we are sponsoring and hosting our traditional St. Patrick's Luncheon on March 16 at Terrace on the Park. It's a full calendar of events that I will be sharing at the end of this presentation. Today, very proud to present Manly Lee, Economic Development Specialist in the Trade Officer New York District Office of SBS. She will talk about empowering women in a small business and small business owners. And her special guest, Susan Correa. She's member of the SBA Emerging Leaders Program, and she will talk about her experience, successful experience, exporting business. As always, we will be sharing this presentation into our YouTube channel, and we are broadcasting on Facebook Live. Once again, thank you for being here. I look forward to work with all of you. Welcome, ladies. Manli, the floor is all yours.
Thank you, everyone. Good morning. Welcome to this event. We celebrate our Women's History Month. So today, actually, I will talk about how to, for us a business, especially a women-owned business. Of course, we welcome, men too today. We have to celebrate together, but we have to, get more information for your business. So I will talk about the women-owned business, how to get government contracting and financing, and also SBIR innovation field. But before that, I invite one special guest to speak about her journey, her business journey. She was our Emerging Leaders programs, actually 2021. But I haven't met her in person yet. Okay, but we get together for 7 months. Actually, we provide the CEO the training together. So please welcome Susan, and let's listen to her experience and what's her inspiration for the women-owned business. Susan, please.
Thank you, Manli, and thank you, Jacqueline, for having me on today. It's really an honor to be able to speak and share about my journey. I would like to start by sharing a screen so that I can walk through a PowerPoint. Is my screen visible, Jacqueline? Yes. So my journey has traversed across multiple countries. I started in India and have since built and led multi-million-dollar businesses across India, Europe, Canada, and the United States. It started at the back end on the factory floor. It was an exhilarating business journey. But really, I took the time in the start of my journey to really understand the business and worked my way up from understanding the facets of the business. So from design to merchandising, production to sales to marketing, like really the whole gamut. It was the internship that I got at a company called Creative Garments. And my journey has been with them across multiple countries since that early start as an intern from college. I, over the last 5 years, built a very special business called Art in Eden. Up until the point of Art in Eden, profit was the purpose of my business. Everything that I did was blinkered in the pursuit of profit, and it was a quest of bringing the latest and the greatest, quickest and cheapest to market. But somewhere down in 2014, I recognized that business had to be different, that business could be used as a power for good, and its immense power could be harnessed for greater social good. It was a journey that started from reading of Seth Godin's Linchpin. It was a book that spoke about a new way forward for entrepreneurs in business, one where we would take greater responsibility for our actions, not just produce more of goods and services into the world, but really care about the impacts of our actions. So Art in Eden was my why. I think one of my most favorite quotes is Mark Twain's, the 2 most important days of your life. One is the day you were born, and the second is the day you discover why. And my why was Art in Eden, was trying to figure out how could I use all the gifts and the talents that I was given for a greater good of the world that I'm inhabiting. And from there, Art in Eden was born. It was an adventure, and to be able to bring a product that was better and also do better. So we make remarkable kids' clothing responsibly. So it really painted this picture because I have been in the business of fashion for over 2 decades, like I said, building and leading multi-million-dollar businesses across India, Europe, Canada. and now the United States. And I was in the business of fashion. And fashion is a $2.3 billion business. It paints a very beautiful picture of beauty and perfection. But it does have a pretty little secret, which not too many people know, is that it's a very polluting industry. And so once I started to imagine what our industry was and how could it be different, we make clothing that touches everybody's life. Every single human being wears clothes. And how do we use this industry, which basically touches everyone's life, to make a difference to the life, to the world we live, and to the world we leave the generations to come? And from that thinking was born Art in Eden. So we make remarkable kids' clothing responsibly. We ensure that the brand meets economic, ecological, and equitable goals. We make product that is better for the planet, better for the little kids that wear our clothing, and better for the people that make our clothing. So the desire of building out Art in Eden was to build a business that was really instrumental in making the world a brighter, better, and greener place. And we did that by making our products really thoughtful. We considered the valuable life of all children, not just the children that bought our clothing, and all of our choices were deeply considered. So we wove sustainability into the very DNA and the genetic makeup of the brand. So right from how we thought about the fabric we made, to the dyes we used, to the packaging, how did the product move from seed to shelf? And right off the bat, we were across 356 specialty stores, from Nordstrom to Walmart. We got penetration and just built this really beautiful brand that people truly cared for. So really, then for the, what was the difference? Like in the past, we never gave too much, care to anything else other than profits. Like I said, profit was the purpose, but how do we now consider fair wages, safe dyeing, sustainable practices? Like, how do you have a business that you feel good about at every facet? Was the journey that I traversed upon 2 years before building Art in Eden. So I really chalked out this journey and really tried to understand what was the why, what was going to be so different and so special about this business versus everything else that I'd done thus far. So how were we different for the planet? How were we different for the people that were engaged in our clothing, like really touching to every facet, from the customer who's dealing with price, to the artists that make our prints, to transparency for parents to know about where the clothes are made, to our employees and how we work together and the culture we built. And of course, everyone's aware about how good organic food is. And so we feed our children organic food. But, clothing rests on their skin. It is their largest organ, and nature protects us with 3 layers to our children's skin. So we allow parents to choose responsibly and use organic clothing for their children that is made sustainably in a way that takes into consideration human rights and all the people that are engaged in our supply chain. We say no to toxic chemicals. We make sure that our chemicals, our dyes are GOTS approved. And, it's not just useful to have organic fabric, but also, dyeing it with organic dyes so you don't dilute the organic nature of the fabric. And very close to our hearts is, how do we care about our communities? How do we care about, how can we use all of our time, our talent, our treasure to care about communities? So our team worked with an inner city school in Newark in New Jersey, a school with 600 students, but 90% below the poverty line. So really running a mentorship program, bringing them into New York City, allowing them incredible adventures, and just showing them the varied opportunity and the multifaceted vocational paths that they could choose was something that gave us immense joy. We also coordinated our profits with a cause across Central America, and we donated 1.5 million multivitamins across Central America. I personally visited each of these places and worked with each of these children to hear their stories and make it an integral part of our brand. Before you even build a brand, you've got to understand your why and your what are the values of the customer that you're addressing? What are the pain points? What problem are you trying to solve? And when we recognized the landscape of the business, we saw that it was a business that a lot of millennial moms were looking for healthy lifestyles, healthy food choices, healthy ways of life. And what better was to be able to bring a healthy clothing contribution to the many healthy choices she was trying to make. So understanding the customer, what are her values, what is she looking for, or she or he are looking for, and how are we addressing the pain points? The brand got validation right off the bat, 6 months in, and the brand was best new brand. We got most socially responsible brand, most sustainable brand. I was invited as the first speaker to Disney's Outside In series to share the story of how business could be used as a force for good. We launched in 356 stores across US, Canada, and Mexico. And we got this incredible partnership with Discovery and Animal Planet to really speak to the endangered species and how we could make a difference in our choices and in perpetuating their lives. So the brand, really taking the time and the trouble to understand the brand, its relevance, what market we were in, what we were trying to do, how were our values, personal and professional, integrated into the work we did. And stemming from that came Art in Eden, from all of those multiple studies that we did. Then tying in the brand to partners that cared. So when you speak about sustainability, it was spoken in very loose terms in the past, in my journey prior to Art in Eden. Oh, we're using organic fabric, oh, we're using this, but really, how do you make it holistic? Because if you use organic fabric, but you don't dye it with organic dyes, you've nullified the whole effort. So how do you work with partners that are, like GOTS, that are approving the chain, and post-production, we had what is called a transaction certificate, where all of our organic activities were certified and before shipment. So really partnering with companies, third-party assessment, audit companies that validated our entire supply chain. Built an incredible team. And on this page, I really want to talk about the power of networking. I've had the incredible good fortune of being able to work with the global president of Ralph Lauren and the past president of Ralph Lauren as well. George Redina was the global president of Ralph Lauren, and Matthew Youngs was the president of Ralph Lauren. Rebecca designed there as well. But I just want to speak for a moment about the power of networking, because I had sent out, when we did this incredible partnership with Discovery, I sent out email blast and spoke to our really where our hearts were on this partnership. And George Redina's email was in our email database, and he reached back out to me and he said, I got this email blast, and I don't know whether it was really meant for me, but I really like the business that you're trying to build, and I would love to come and meet you. And he's since been an incredible guide, mentor, friend, so I really want to encourage each of you to be able to network, to be able to reach out. Like, people want to help, genuinely want to help, and are genuinely interested in helping. But again, you've got to put in the effort to be able to validate their help. You can't just ask for help without doing your prep work and your being prepared to engage them, their time and their talent. So it really does work. I have used the power of LinkedIn incredibly, and people are just so kind and so welcoming. So I would encourage everyone to really reach out for help, because we can't do this alone. No business can be built as one person. So, the power of networking and reaching out is really, I'm testimony that it works. And then really carving a vision of where the business can go from where we are to, from just being a clothing company to how do you build a whole lifestyle of products that basically speak to the sustainable journey. So parents, when they want to buy products that they can trust, know whether they can go for their children. And finally, just really recognizing that the world, it does not become better by chance. It really becomes better by our choices. So how do we choose with consideration what we choose to do, through every choice that we get to make? So that is my little pitch about Art in Eden. But I also want to take like a brief moment to even share about, Mandy requested for us to share about work-life balance. And I think it's such an important piece in this entire journey, because my business journey was just a 400 miles per hour accelerated run. And I don't think I really took the time to stop and smell the flowers. I think the pandemic really pushed us into an awareness of how important it is to take care of ourselves. So it also allowed me the time, the mental space, the bandwidth to embark on my own spiritual journey, to embark on my own self-help journey, to really take care about the things that I love to do, walking and hiking and reading. And so I think an entrepreneur really needs to carve out the time. Since then, I've never looked back on just all work and nothing else through my Monday through Friday, but really taking time and trouble to take care of myself. So I think for all business owners, that is a very important piece, because it's only when we are healthy can we build healthy businesses. So thank you, Mandy and Jacqueline, for this opportunity to share, and happy to share anything else that you would like me to.
Yeah, thank you, Susan. I think everybody actually was inspired by Susan's contribution, not just to her customers, her business, actually the community, even the environment, the whole, the earth actually, and the future. So really, if anybody have any questions for Susan, we can maybe leave later. Or Jacqueline, we can have a few questions now.
We can have the questions later.
Okay.
Yes.
So
but
the
it
next
has been an extraordinary experience watching and learning about all the career and all the success of Susan. Congratulations, Susan.
Thank you.
Right. Yeah, I think when women learn from women, actually we are powerful. So the next section I will talk about SBA. We want to help the women-owned business to get government contract, and also we have different financing programs. I'm going to share my PowerPoint. I will go through really fast, but I will send you the PowerPoint so you don't have to jot down. Okay. So if you go to sba.gov nationwide, you can get no matter where you are, you can get the information, because SBA is a federal government agency. If you want to get New York district office's information, like our event calendar, you can go to our website. The good things that SBA right now have more than 30 different languages. So no matter what language you feel more comfortable, you can choose that one. And no matter what stage of your business, even before you start your own business, you can get information and assistance from SBA. Until you grow your business actually to the international business or global market, and also the government contract. So SBA provide different kinds of guarantee loan, and we have one-on-one counseling through our resource partner. And today I want to talk about the government contracting and global market. Those are the two markets a lot of business they didn't think about, or they just think they cannot compete with the huge company, or they are not familiar with foreign country. So SBA, we have 4 resource partner. Like I deliver the information, but we don't have the manpower to provide one-on-one counseling. So through them, actually, you can get one-on-one counseling. So I list here, so you can contact them, SCORE, Women Business Center, and Small Business Development Center. It's nationwide. For federal government contracting, just want to remind you the percentage that federal government want to help the small business and women-owned business. So you can see here, US government actually is the biggest buyers in the whole world. Last year, they spent more than $700 billion and to buy everything, not just the items, products, also the services. So I really encourage you, especially you see the 5%, all the federal government agency, they have to, for their purchase, they have to buy from women-owned business more than 5%. And the 5% have to buy from small disadvantaged business. We don't call minority, we call socially and economically disadvantaged business. So originally it's 5% the goal, but actually 2022, SBA right now working with 24 federal government agency raised up to 11% for the small disadvantaged business. So, and 3% for hub zone. Hub zone is historically underutilized business zone. So if your business located in those zones, actually have 3% set aside for you. This is the only goal that federal government hasn't reached yet. So please check the map. I will explain that later. And 3% for service disabled veteran. So look at here. If you are a women-owned business and you are a minority, we don't call minority, but I think everybody understand. You have 16% set aside for you. Okay, so it's a more than $500 billion. Every year is a big pie. I hope that especially women-owned business can get that awards. And the reason that a lot of business, they hesitate to get government contract, they think, it's too complicated and also they cannot guarantee to get paid. For city and state, I cannot guarantee, but for federal level, by law, they have to pay you within 30 days of your invoicing, okay? And also, right now we simplify the procedure and also have a lot of organization here to help you. So later I will talk about those. The first things, not all the government agency need your product or services. So you need to do the market research to find out which agency they bought or they use or they are forecast to buy something similar to your industry. So you go to SAM.gov, you can find those contract opportunities for any federal government agency. If they're purchased more than $25,000, they have to post on this website, okay? And the other one, USAspendings.gov, is you can find every penny that federal government spend. So you can see actually from SAM, you can see which agency buy from which company. So, give you an ideas that you can just contact those agencies and also learn from those business that they bought before. So I will talk about the 4 basic requirements. The first things you have to register. You have to get DUNS number. But the good news, after April, actually, they will cancel this. You don't need to get DUNS number. There's like 9 number, like your social security number for the business. And then you have to check your next codes, okay? Next codes actually find out, North American Industry Classification System code for your product or services. Those are very important because right now computer will do the automatically match. So if you enter the wrong codes, they cannot find you. So those are important things. And then second things, you have to meet the size standards as a small business. Depends on the industry, actually, your next code. Some like manufacturing, if you have fewer than 500 employees, you are a small business. For some of the industry depends on their annual income, like construction can go up to $34 million annual income. So please search online, make sure that actually you are a so-called SBA small business. And then you register with SAM. So this is a database that actually all the federal government, they are looking for vendor, then you have to be in that database. And you can just upload the information, enter the information by yourself. Okay, so it's like a resume. So you should just look at your competitors' information, and then you can have something even better for the agency to work with you. And then number 4, maintain compliance because you're working for the government. So actually you have to comply with their regulation. Okay. Certification is very important, especially if you are one of those groups. Actually, you definitely should certify. A lot of businesses ask me if they don't certify, can they get government contract? The answer is yes, but you have to compete with everybody, the big company, but if you are certified, like a women-owned business, you only compete for the women-owned business in those set aside grants. So now we will talk about, what's the qualification? The first one, have to be a U.S. citizen. So this is applied to 8A, that's for socially and economic disadvantaged business certification. We call 8A certification. And women-owned small business and hub zone, okay? So more than 51% of the owner have to be, U.S. citizen. Then, so this is to tell you unconditionally and directly owned and controlled. So means actually, the owner actually is the one make a long-term decision and also manage the day-to-day operation. It's not just a title there, there's a fraud, okay? So have to be for profit. So this is not for nonprofit organization. Here that actually the business cannot be debarred or suspended before. Okay. Have good records. So this is the next code, just tell you how to find those information. You can find assistance here for you. I list a lot of links for you. Now we talk about disadvantaged business. Okay, so disadvantaged business, actually we call socially and economically disadvantaged business. The 8A certification is a 9-year certification, and you have to be in business at least 2 years. Because this certification only for 9 years. During the 9 years, SBA will help you to find opportunities, even represent you to negotiate with government agency. So after 9 years, we say you graduate. Okay, so you don't have to rush until you should apply that actually until you are ready to do business with the government. So if you are 8A certified, you have set aside for 5%, now it's 11%. And sole source contract means usually there is a rule for government contract is a rule of 2. If my office need to buy something, at least we have to have 2 companies, 2 business, we can choose one. If only one company, then we cannot just buy from them. But if you are 8A certified, actually, we can buy from you. Only you approach to us, say you are 8A certified. Okay, so this is the only one-time use for 9 years. So the qualification, if you are a Black American or Asian Pacific American, Hispanic American, Native American, subcontinent Asian American, you are qualified, okay? But even you are not in one of these groups, if you can demonstrate you have experienced bias of a chronic and a substantial nature, you can be qualified too. So this is certification. Also, economic disadvantage, according to your past 3 years tax income, your total asset have to be less than $4 million, net worth less than 250K, and personal income 250K or less. Doesn't count your property. now we talk about, this is today's for women-owned business and economic disadvantaged women-owned business certification. So there are two, okay? There are two kinds. And not all the next code industry can be certified. So actually, this is the link that actually the website, you can check the next code that actually for these two certification have to be women-owned, owned and controlled by women, American citizens, and the women manage day-to-day operation and make long-term decision. This is economic disadvantage women-owned business. Same thing. The past 3 years, so you can see the number, net worth, and adjust the gross income and personal assets. So here, certification, you can go to beta.certified.sba.gov, but also SBA provides third-party certification. There are 4 organizations, actually they can certify for you, but actually they charge a fee, okay? But so actually you can certify by yourself, but now have to get approval from SBA. HubZone, there is a map. Okay, so this is a website for map. If your business located in the hub zone and more than 35% of your employees live in hub zone, any hub zone, doesn't have to be the same hub zone as your business. So this is step by step how you can certify as a hub zone. Just want to show you, do not just assume that your areas is rich area, good area. You're not in the hub zone. This is Manhattan, even next to Times Square, okay, from 42nd to 44th Street, and also 6th Avenue to 8th Avenue. This is a hub zone, okay? So just go to the website, enter your address. They will tell you right away. Just show you, this is Brooklyn. This is Queens. Okay, so I cannot tell you like north or east of Queens actually is hub zone, because like 2 blocks here, 3 blocks there. So you really have to make sure you are in the hub zone by entering your address. So the first things opportunities, you can just start with the micro purchase. Any purchase under $3,000, the government agency, they don't have to post anywhere. So if you know who is the purchase for each agency, and you don't have to go to DC. A lot of people think federal government, contract, you have to go to Washington, DC. Actually, in New York, we have more than 100 federal government agency office in New York. So you can just go to local office. For any purchase less than $3,000, you just talk to the purchaser in that agency. Also, try to get on GSA schedule. GSA is an agency. They buy all the federal property, sell the property, rent out the property, hire the security, and hire the cleaning company. So they have a database called GSA schedule. So you should be on their database too. So the next things, we don't encourage everyone just get a huge contract. The first one, okay, you need to learn. You need time to learn. So we encourage you to be a subcontractor. So this is the website, Subnet. You can find those prime contractor. They are looking for subcontract. By law, actually, if any prime contractor, they got a contract more than $700,000, $1 million for construction, they have to sub out. So you can start being a subcontractor, then you can learn how to do business, and then when you are feel more comfortable, then you can become a prime contractor. But the teaming agreement is very important. You should hire an attorney to write everything in advance. Okay, so this is 3 procurement technical assistance center in New York area. But if you go to the website here, you can find a nationwide. the PTAG can help you with the local government and the federal government's procurement, not just the federal. So at least you should be on their mailing list because they hold a lot of events. But the next thing, you have to do the marketing, okay? A lot of people, they just think they get certified. Some people came to me, say, I already certified for 5 years, but I never get any contract. It's very competitive. So of course, sometimes, if you are have special product or services, maybe some agency will contact you. But most of the time you need to do the marketing to the government agency. So you should talk to the person responsible for purchasing in different agency. They have a different title, okay? Small business specialists or program managers or contracting officers. The marketing tips, I won't spend too much time today. We were, talk about that when you come to my government contracting webinar. But very important, if you see any government agency, they hold an event, you see procurement or matchmaking, you have to be there. And also the PTAG, actually, they invite a lot of government agency there. So those one-on-one events that you have the chance to talk to those representative from different agency, you definitely have to be there. You get their business card, and just remember you have to follow up. Okay, I saw a lot of business, they got a lot of business card, but they didn't use that. So the government, they need to know you are existing. Okay, so you have to make acquaintance to them, and also you are you are reliable, and you have high quality products and fair prices. Those are very important, and you work with them, let them, get the good products, and also easily with you. If they send you a message, you have to respond right away. So responsible and that's and responsive. Those are the two things that actually they concern most. Of course, the quality of the products or services is very important. The other things that I want to encourage you, a lot of business, they say we are not manufacturing. You don't have to be a manufacturing to get government contract. Even you provide the services, I think, everybody know IT or the government agency need that. And even like SBA, we need accountants, actually. We give awards to a lot of nonprofit organizations helping small business. So we need auditor. And also, I just want to share with you a most interesting contract I know is, one business, they got a contract to hire the fake patients, like a secret shopper. So government want to check if those hospitals, they treat the patients right. So it's everything. So I encourage you, don't just limit yourself, go to find the opportunity. But you need to prepare 3 marketing tools. The first one is elevator pitch, like Susan introduced herself. Okay, so when you have a chance to talk to those procurement officer, only have 20 to 30 seconds. How can you leave a good impression? Okay, so you need to have elevator pitch and practice and make a good presentation. And you have to prepare 1-page capability summary or statement. I have samples for you, the next 2 slides. And also, usually they will select maybe 5 or 10 finals, actually make a full presentation. So you need to know the audience. You need to study about that agency and also their budget, what's their missions, and have to be, when you make presentation, be focused and brief. Also, you have to stand out from the crowd. So create something that actually you will leave a good impression. So what's a 1-page capability summary? is like the resume. Okay, you title your company's data, company's data in financing, and your past performance. If you have local government contracting, that's the best. But if not, your big customers, you can list there, and your unique features. Okay, here she is a female veterans engineer company. So she was very smart. So usually capability statement is one page, like a resume. So she made actually one page, but 4 sides. Okay, so she has 4 sides information. This is the capability statement. This is the photos of her project, and this is a testimonial, and this is the cover. So you can try to use some photos if you have special products or facilities or something that actually you think can make your capability make better. This is a marketing company. Actually, it's a women-owned too. So during the pandemic, actually, she normally before pandemic, she just do the marketing. And then during the pandemic, she find the government contracts actually to help. She held a lot of events for government agency. So just use this to encourage you. And also the last thing I want to talk about is the federal government. We have different calendars. So we start from October 1st to September 30th. So you need to have a marketing plan. So the first quarter, like October to December, is not the time. They haven't decided what, they haven't got money yet. So that's the time that actually you should just building the relationship with those agencies. So if they have events, actually you should participate. Then the second and third quarter from January to June, that's the time you really to do your campaign and the response to those requirements. You can find those opportunities online and try to contact them to do the marketing to them. And then fourth quarter from July to September, that's very important because there's last minute offer. Now, federal agency usually need to spend the money before the end of the fourth quarter. So, a lot of, especially if they haven't reached their goal, they can say, no, this all the contracts right now just go to women. We have to buy from women-owned business or hubs-owned business. So that's a, just don't give up. The last quarter, usually I saw a lot of business, they got their contract during the fourth quarter. Okay. So finally, I just tell you that actually government is looking for qualified small business. So you have to show you're qualified financially and well established. But marketing is not a rocket science. So you have to see different agency. You have to find a different way to meet their need. Okay, and build your reputation as a qualified vendor. We share the information. Okay, and understand. And right now you have to use technology. Okay, so disaster loan right now, I think everybody already got PPP idle, but we still manage actually processing. So if you were declined for your idle loan, you have to appeal within 30 days. And the reconsideration is 6 months and modification is 2 years. So just please, contact the customer service. Okay, our field office, we cannot, I cannot even access the platform to check for you. So disaster center, actually, they can help you. Now I'm going to talk about financing. No matter what stage of your business, you need money to back you up. Especially now, you have to get ready. Okay, we don't know when exactly we'll go back to the new normal. A lot of business, they call me when they ran out of money, say, I ran out of money, I need money. I usually tell them, sorry, that's too late. you have to borrow money when you have money, okay? The best time to borrow money is when you can show the lender you have the ability to repay the debt. And also, it's not usually people would, I ask them how much you want to borrow, they would say as much as possible. That's not a good answer because you have to pay the interest. So actually, you should just calculate how much you need to make money. Okay, so you have to prepare the information, who your business is, actually how much money needed and what money is for, and what those funds can benefit your business, and how will you repay the debt. So you need to prepare a statement of purpose. This is simple, one paragraph. That's good enough, but it's clear. Also, you have to prepare the funding request. Okay, how much you will invest. Most of the lenders, they told me at least 20%. If you can invest more, that's better. And then loan, so total money you need, and then you have to list all the items you need for those funding. Okay, so you have to plan. So now I'm going to talk about SBA's financing program. If you go to sba.gov, there's a lender match. You just answer the questions, how much you want to borrow and how many employees, your situation. You can get matched in 2 days. So you talk to those lenders that they think you are lendable. Then you choose one to apply for the loan. But you need to prepare. Basically, you need business plan, how much you need, credit history, financial projections, collateral, and your industry experience. And when you talk to the lender, you have to ask questions about interest rate, minimum credit score, your cash flow requirement, and how will you repay if you prepay earlier? That is there any penalty or grace period? So you can borrow from $500 to $5.5 million from SBA's guarantee loan. SBA is not a lender. Okay, so SBA will work with lenders. Right now, it's like more than 5,000 lenders to make a loan to small business. If something happened, the small business owner cannot repay the debt, SBA will pay to the lenders up to 85%. That's how SBA work with lenders to help small business. So if you go to your lender, your bank, if they have programs that actually you meet their requirement, that's the best deal. Take it. Okay. So, but if the lenders, they think a little bit risky, unless SBA guarantee to them, they cannot make loan to you, then they will submit your loan package to SBA. You don't have to contact SBA, you contact to the lenders. There are 3 category of the SBA's guarantee loan. 7A loan, you can use the money for everything. Okay, almost everything, like legally activities, even refinance your existing business debt. You can borrow up to $5 million. The interest rate is prime rate plus 2.25 to 2.75. If you borrow less than $350,000, you don't have to pay the guarantee fee. We have express loan that actually you can borrow up to $500,000. If you have emergency need, you can get the loan within 48 hours. And right now we have community advantage loan up to September 30th this year. You can borrow up to $250,000. Okay. Here I just put here that some business actually they say the lenders charge them some fee like broker or commission fee. That's not allowed actually. The second one is 504 loan. This is the most popular loan during the pandemic. This is specific loan for you to buy the property or land or machinery, or you improve or moderation of your facilities. Okay, you can borrow up to total amount is $12 million. You have to use more than 51% of the property for your own business. The beauty of this program, you only pay 10% down. So you can see this pie map, actually, you pay 10% down. SBA will lend you 40%, and we will find a bank, a lender to lend you 50%. So we work together for this loan. So for SBA part, the maximum is $5.5 million. So the total amount can go up to $12 million. So during pandemic, a lot of business actually, they realize the rent is the biggest burden for them. So if they can afford 10% down, they buy the property, they use more than 51%, they rent out 40-something%, they use the rent to pay the mortgage. And to buy the property, the interest rate is a fixed interest rate, and the maturity time is 25 years. So this 3 CDC process SBA's 40%, you can contact them. So how about startups? Because most of the lenders, they're not making loan to startups. So SBA have a micro loan program. We work with nonprofit organizations. Actually, you can borrow up to $50,000. So this is 6 organizations in New York area. So you can talk to them. SBA also work with venture capitalists. So you can find the venture capitalist list on the website here. See which one you meet their requirement and they meet your need. You can negotiate with them directly. Surety bond is for a construction company. Usually construction company, when they got government contract, they were required to have surety bond. That's like insurance. So SBA have that program. We have 3 international trade loans. So even if you are not an exporter, like you sell your products or services to exporter, you can use this 3 loan. You can borrow up to $5 million. So you can contact Ed. That's he's responsible for New York and New Jersey. The last one I just want to share with you, there are 2 grants. Okay, so I won't go to the detail. It's sbir.gov. Please find opportunity. Every year, more than 5,000 business actually they got this grants. This is grant, but it's for you to do the research and development. It's not for you to start your business or operate your business. Each of the projects is more than $1 million. Okay, so SBA, we coordinate with 11 government agencies to give this award. So please go to the website, especially they have 55 courses, even including teach you how to write a proposal. So that concludes my presentation today. A lot of information, okay? So I will send the information to you. So, okay, so Jacqueline, so we have a few minutes now. So yes. I think everybody should focus, ask questions to Susan, because you can see me like so often, but Susan is, she only here today. She's so busy.
Yes, I have a question for Susan, and thank you again for being here today. Susan, how long it took you to start the program with SBA and then to grow up, to be yourself running and having your business established?
Yeah, so my journey started close to 2 decades ago. My tryst with SBA has happened over the last year. But I think that the time with SBA was the time when I needed it the most. I think the pandemic rocked us in a way that was unimaginable. We were, accelerating, and then suddenly the whole world stopped. And it was a time where we needed support and we needed comradeship. And the SBA Emerging Leaders Program came in just at that time to support small businesses. And it was just a wonderful time of togetherness and of support to one another. So I highly encourage entrepreneurs and small business owners, when opportunities open up with Manly and team to take them up because they bring support in ways that are unimaginable. We also got hit on the other end where all our factors and banks stopped approving major department stores. And we needed to be able to fund the business, and Manly's webinars on the PPP loans were hugely helpful. I had not applied for a loan in my life prior, and just sitting through her webinars and understanding what needs to be done, I got both the PPP loans, I got the EIDL loan, but I could not have done it without that. I couldn't have done it without the webinars. So it was the support that was needed at the right time and in the right amount for the right information. So very, very grateful for Manly and for the many wonderful webinars she so tirelessly hosts.
Well, we'll see we have any other questions on the chat. We have some questions for Manly, but I would like to hear like a brief message to empower women that they are following you today. What would you say to them to keep working, to follow their dreams?
Microphone, yeah. Okay, so first things, come out to learn. I think all the emerging leaders, they know, do not work in your business. You have to work on your business. You are like the leader of your business. So you should come out to learn, to network, to, so you can lead your companies to the right direction and take actions. Like today, you got a lot of information. You have to follow up and really take the action to do what you need to do.
Thank you. I have some questions on the chat, Manly. One is about the two types of business loans mentioned that government really wants to see. That is the number one. And the other one is that you must be a subcontractor. All subcontractors must be certified city, state, and federal.
Okay, for local government, actually, we encourage you start from city and the state. Because put on your capability statement, they see you already know how to work with government, and for city and state, they have more projects for you. So start with city and state, but all the certification are separated. You have to certify everywhere.
Perfect. One question is, are you going to share all the data that you have, or it's going to be a specific pages that you're going to provide us for the PowerPoint presentation?
Yeah, usually Jacqueline will send me the list and I will send everybody the PowerPoint, the whole PowerPoint. Okay, so that's, yeah.
And also they can follow up, people can follow up and share this information in our YouTube channel. We will post the presentation, and we are on Facebook Live now. That is going to stay there for forever. Thank you again. Thank you, Manly. Thank you, Susan Correa, for being here and sharing all your expertise and knowledge.
Thank you, Jacqueline and Queen's Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you.
Thank you.